Welcome to your favorite channel, the channel where secrets unravel and reality becomes more dramatic than fiction. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most shocking revelations in the 90-Day Fiancé universe. This is a story that stayed hidden in the shadows for over a year. Tim Malcolm, the sharp-tongued fan favorite, and Tiffany Franco, admired for her honesty and strength, have been living a double life. Away from the cameras and far from the spotlight, they quietly built a romance no one ever expected. What started as hushed whispers behind closed doors slowly turned into a relationship filled with secrecy, passion, and high risk. But secrets like this never stay buried forever. From secret hotel rendezvous to the stunning revelation of Tiffany's twin pregnancy, from Tim's extravagant $900,000 house gift to the announcement of their wedding date, this story has all the twists of a blockbuster drama. So buckle up, because this isn't just a love story. It's a scandal, a spectacle, and a journey that will leave fans questioning everything they thought they knew about Tim and Tiffany. It all began quietly, almost invisibly. Tim Malcolm, known for his calm demeanor and sharp wit on 90 Day Fiancé, and Tiffany Franco, praised for her resilience and charm, were never publicly linked in any romantic way. Fans followed their lives closely, but no one imagined these two would ever cross paths like this. According to insiders, their connection started during a casual industry meetup. What seemed like harmless conversation quickly turned into something deeper. They exchanged numbers, began texting late into the night, and slowly built a bond neither of them wanted the world to see, at least not yet. For Tim, who had always been cautious about relationships after a turbulent past, Tiffany felt like a fresh start. For Tiffany, who had endured heartbreak and challenges of her own, Tim's steady presence brought comfort she couldn't ignore. Together, they found safety in secrecy. Over the following months, their relationship grew in hidden spaces. They avoided paparazzi, skipped public appearances, and chose private moments where they could simply be themselves. Friends close to the couple say Tim was extremely protective, making sure Tiffany felt shielded from constant media attention. But secrecy comes with pressure. The longer they hid their relationship, the stronger their emotions became. Every stolen moment carried risk. Every private meeting came with the thrill of being discovered. Still, they pushed forward, convinced their love was worth it. By the end of the year, their bond was undeniable. What began as quiet companionship had turned into a passionate relationship strong enough to survive in the shadows. While the world remained unaware, Tim and Tiffany were already writing the first chapter of a love story that would soon shake reality TV. As their romance deepened, they knew they had to protect it. Fame can bring admiration, but it also brings relentless scrutiny. For two reality stars used to living under a microscope, secrecy became their strongest defense. Confidential sources revealed the couple carefully planned secret meetings far from cameras and gossip. Their chosen hideaways were luxury five-star hotels, where privacy could be bought and discretion was expected. Tim handled every detail. He booked rooms under aliases, arranged private entrances, and coordinated with trusted staff to keep their identities hidden. Tiffany embraced the thrill of these moments. For her, it wasn't just romance, it was about feeling normal again, loving without judgment. Inside those lavish hotel rooms, they created a world of their own. Candlelit dinners, whispered conversations, and laughter echoing through marble halls. Friends say Tiffany often described those nights as a secret paradise, where fame disappeared and only love remained. But secrecy always carries risk. Hotel staff noticed. Guests whispered. Rumors began to circulate quietly. The more often Tim and Tiffany met, the harder it became to stay invisible. Still, they continued, believing their relationship was worth every gamble. For nearly a year, these hidden meetings shaped their relationship. Each rendezvous added another layer of intimacy, another memory locked away from the public eye. While the world remained unaware, they were living a story more dramatic than any reality show. But behind those closed doors, something life-changing was happening. The secrecy surrounding their romance was already fragile, but what came next turned whispers into explosive rumors. Tiffany began noticing changes she couldn't ignore. At first, she blamed stress and exhaustion from motherhood and public pressure. Then the truth became clear. Tiffany was pregnant. And not just with one child, but with twins. The news sent shockwaves through their private world. For Tiffany, it was both joyful and terrifying. She had always dreamed of growing her family, but doing so while hiding a secret relationship made everything more complicated. Tim was stunned, but he didn't hesitate. Those close to him say he immediately became protective, promising to shield Tiffany and their unborn children from public chaos. Their secret meetings changed. They were no longer just romantic escapes. They became serious discussions about the future. Should they reveal the pregnancy? Should they wait until the babies were born? Every decision felt heavy, and every option carried consequences. Meanwhile, rumors began to leak. Hotel staff noticed Tiffany's growing belly. Fans questioned her absence from public events. Anonymous tips started appearing on gossip blogs. At first, the rumors were dismissed as speculation, but as time passed, they grew louder. For Tim and Tiffany, time was running out. They knew that once the truth came out, their love story would no longer belong only to them. It would belong to the world. And with twins on the way, the stakes had never been higher. This was no longer just a love story. It was the beginning of a family hidden in the shadows, waiting to be revealed. The whispers had grown too loud to ignore. For months, fans had been speculating about Tiffany Franco's absence from public events and her increasingly private lifestyle. People noticed the changes. Her social media activity slowed down. Her photos were carefully framed. Her once vibrant presence seemed wrapped in secrecy. Something was happening, and the world wanted answers. Then the truth hit like lightning. Confidential sources confirmed what had only been rumors. Tiffany Franco was pregnant. But the shock didn't stop there. She wasn't expecting just one child. She was carrying twins. The news spread fast across fan forums and gossip blogs. For many, it felt almost unbelievable. Tiffany, already a mother, was now preparing to welcome 2 more children. And the father was Tim Malcolm, the man fans never imagined in this role. The revelation shattered the silence Tim and Tiffany had worked so hard to maintain. Their secret relationship was no longer private. It became a headline. For Tiffany, the pregnancy was deeply personal, but now it had turned into a public spectacle. For Tim, the weight of responsibility became real. He was no longer just a boyfriend. He was about to become a father to twins. Behind closed doors, insiders say the couple struggled with what to do next. Should they speak out or let the rumors grow on their own? In the end, the pressure became too much. The truth was too big to hide. When the story finally reached mainstream media, fans were stunned. Some celebrated the unexpected love story. Others questioned whether it was real. Was this genuine or just another shocking reality TV moment? The debates were endless, but one fact could not be denied. Tiffany Franco was pregnant with Tim Malcolm's twins. That moment changed everything. They could no longer live in secrecy. Their relationship was now in the spotlight, bringing both support and criticism. Still, through the chaos, Tim and Tiffany stood together. The twins were more than a surprise. They were a promise of a future neither had planned, but both were ready to accept. The pressure eventually reached its breaking point. For months, Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco had hidden their relationship and Tiffany's pregnancy from the public eye. But secrets never stay buried forever. As talk of twins dominated fan forums and gossip sites, the couple realized it was time to step forward. Their confession didn't come through a flashy interview or a dramatic reality TV reveal. Instead, it was quiet, emotional, and real. In a joint statement, Tim and Tiffany confirmed what fans had suspected for months. They admitted they had been together for over a year, meeting privately to protect their relationship from outside pressure. For Tiffany, finally speaking out was freeing. She opened up about the emotional toll of hiding her pregnancy, the stress of secrecy, and the happiness of expecting twins with Tim. Her honesty reminded fans why she had always been respected for her openness. Tim focused on commitment, not just to Tiffany, but to the family they were building. He described their journey as unexpected but impossible to deny, a love that grew stronger in silence. The confession sent shockwaves through the 90-day Fiancé community. Fans flooded social media with reactions ranging from disbelief to overwhelming support. Some questioned why the couple had hidden their relationship for so long. Others praised them for finally telling the truth. The media wasted no time breaking down every detail. Their private story quickly became public discussion. But through it all, Tim and Tiffany stayed united. The confession wasn't about gossip. It was about taking control of their own story. And as the news spread, one thing became clear. This wasn't a typical reality TV twist. It was a real relationship that had survived in silence and was now stepping into the light. Just when fans thought they had seen everything, another revelation followed. Tim Malcolm made a move so bold it instantly dominated gossip headlines. He gifted Tiffany Franco a luxury home worth $900,000. According to insiders, the house was more than just a gift. It was a statement. Located in an upscale neighborhood, the property featured modern design, spacious gardens, and elegant interiors. For Tiffany, it wasn't about the price. It was about what the gift represented. A promise, a future, a home for her and the twins. Friends say she was overwhelmed with emotion and reportedly broke down in tears when she saw it. To her, this wasn't just love. It was stability, security, and a place where her children could grow up away from the chaos of fame. But as always, the gesture sparked controversy. Fans were divided. Some called it a beautiful act of devotion. Others questioned Tim's motives, wondering if the gift was meant to silence critics or control the narrative. The media frenzy exploded. Headlines focused on the $900,000 house. Analysts questioned Tim's finances. Critics speculated about Tiffany's intentions. Fans split into two sides, those who believed in the gesture and those who doubted it. Through all the noise, Tim and Tiffany stayed focused on what mattered to them. For them, the house wasn't about attention. It was about creating a safe space and preparing for the arrival of their twins. The gift marked another turning point. Their relationship was no longer defined by secrecy. It was now defined by commitment. And while the world continued to debate, Tim and Tiffany quietly moved forward, building not just a home, but a future. When the confession became public, reactions were immediate and intense. Supporters celebrated the couple's honesty and bravery. Social media filled with messages of encouragement and congratulations. Fans shared artwork, kind words, and excitement about the twins. But skeptics weren't silent. Many questioned the timing of the confession, pointing to the pregnancy and the expensive house as signs the couple was trying to manage public opinion. Some argued it all felt too perfectly timed, as if the drama had been carefully planned. The fan base was split. Some believed in the love story. Others doubted it. And as debates continued to rage online, one thing was certain. Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco had changed everything. Their story was no longer hidden. It was out in the open, unfolding in real time, with the world watching every step. As the debate continued to spread across social media, Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco stayed mostly silent. They watched from a distance as fans argued, defended, criticized, and analyzed every detail of their lives. For a couple that had spent more than a year hiding in the shadows, the sudden exposure was overwhelming. Yet behind the noise, something shifted. For the first time, Tim and Tiffany no longer had to hide. The weight of secrecy slowly lifted, replaced by a cautious sense of relief. Friends close to the couple say that while the public reaction was intense, privately, they felt lighter. The truth was out. With the pregnancy confirmed and their relationship public, the couple began preparing for the next phase of their lives. Doctor visits became more frequent. Conversations about parenting, schedules, and the future filled their days. Tim, known for his calm and methodical nature, reportedly threw himself into planning, determined to be present and dependable. Tiffany, meanwhile, focused on her health and her growing family. Carrying twins was not easy, especially under the pressure of public attention. Insiders say there were days when the stress felt unbearable. Every photo, every appearance, every absence was dissected online. Still, she pushed forward, supported by Tim and a small circle of trusted friends. As weeks passed, fans began noticing subtle changes. Tim and Tiffany started appearing together more often. Nothing flashy. No red carpet debuts. Just quiet moments. A shared photo here. A brief comment there. Each small glimpse sent waves through the fan base, confirming that this relationship was no longer hidden. But with visibility came new challenges. Questions about marriage began to surface almost immediately. Fans speculated endlessly. Would they get engaged? Had they already done it in secret? Was a wedding already planned? Gossip pages claimed to have inside information, while anonymous sources fed conflicting stories to the media. For a while, Tim and Tiffany ignored the rumors. Then came the announcement that no one expected so soon. According to insiders, Tim proposed in private, far away from cameras and crowds. There was no audience, no production crew, no dramatic reveal. Just the two of them. The proposal was described as emotional and sincere, a moment grounded in reality rather than spectacle. When news of the engagement leaked, it ignited another firestorm. Fans reacted instantly. Supporters celebrated the next step, calling it proof that the relationship was real and built on commitment. Critics, however, questioned the speed of it all. Pregnancy, twins, a luxury home, and now an engagement. To some, it felt overwhelming. To others, it felt like destiny. Eventually, Tim and Tiffany confirmed the engagement themselves. In a brief statement, they shared that they were planning a wedding, but on their own timeline. They made it clear that this chapter of their lives was about family, stability, and moving forward, not about creating drama. Still, speculation didn't stop. The wedding date quickly became a topic of obsession. Fans searched for clues in interviews, photos, and social media captions. Some believed the ceremony would happen before the twins arrived. Others thought it would be delayed until after the birth. Behind the scenes, the couple faced difficult decisions. Planning a wedding while expecting twins was no small task. Tiffany's health had to come first. Doctors advised caution, rest, and limited stress. Tim reportedly insisted that nothing, not even wedding plans, would come before her well-being. As the pregnancy progressed, Tiffany became more selective about public appearances. She stepped back from events and interviews, choosing privacy over attention. While some fans criticized her absence, many others expressed understanding and support. Tim, on the other hand, took on a more visible role. He addressed rumors when necessary, clarified misinformation, and defended Tiffany against harsh criticism. Friends say this was a turning point for him. No longer the detached observer, Tim fully stepped into the role of partner and protector. The media continued to follow every development closely. Articles speculated about the twins' names. Commentators debated how parenthood would change Tim. Others wondered how Tiffany would balance motherhood, fame, and a blended family. Every possibility became content. But away from the headlines, life moved forward quietly. The couple focused on preparing the house for the babies. Nurseries were planned. Essentials were purchased. Family members were brought into the circle. What had once been a secret romance was now a growing household. Despite the pressure, those close to Tim and Tiffany say their bond strengthened. They had already survived secrecy, rumors, and public judgment. Compared to that, facing the future together felt manageable. The challenges were real, but so was their commitment. As the due date approached, fan sentiment began to soften. Even some skeptics admitted that the couple seemed genuine. The consistency, the lack of dramatics, and the way they handled criticism slowly changed opinions. While not everyone was convinced, the loudest backlash began to fade. Instead, curiosity took its place. What would life look like after the twins arrived? Would Tim and Tiffany return to reality TV? Would they allow cameras into their home? Or would they choose a quieter path? So far, the couple has remained undecided. Sources say they are open to sharing parts of their journey, but only on their own terms. After everything they've been through, control over their story has become non-negotiable. As the final weeks of pregnancy draw closer, anticipation continues to build. Fans wait for updates. Media outlets prepare headlines. And somewhere behind closed doors, Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco prepare to welcome two new lives into the world. What started as a hidden connection has grown into a family, forged under pressure and shaped by scrutiny. Whether critics believe in their love or not, one truth remains clear. This story is no longer about secrecy. It's about transformation. From whispers to headlines, from shadows to spotlight, from unexpected romance to parenthood. And as the next chapter begins, the world watches closely, knowing that whatever happens next, it will change everything once again.